Imagine falling asleep tonight, without a house, without a door, without a lock, without even a wall between you and the outside world. Now imagine that outside is a dark wilderness filled with creatures much stronger than you. This wasn't a nightmare. For ancient humans, this was everyday life. And every night, as the sun disappeared below the horizon, one question remained. Would they survive until morning? Today, humans dominate Earth. But for most of our history, we were vulnerable. A lion could outrun us. A wolf could track us. A bear could overpower us. And when darkness arrived, our greatest strength disappeared, our eyesight. While humans struggled to see at night, many predators became even more dangerous. The darkness wasn't empty. It was alive. Because sight was limited, hearing became essential. Ancient humans listened constantly. Every rustle, every movement, every distant sound. Their lives often depended on it. A single noise could reveal food. A single noise could reveal danger. Or a single noise could be the last thing they ever heard. So what was the most terrifying sound? Most people would probably say, a roar. And honestly, that's a good guess. Imagine sitting beside a fire and suddenly hearing the roar of a massive predator somewhere in the darkness. Your heart would immediately begin racing. Your body would prepare to run. Your instincts would take over. For ancient humans, a roar was never just a sound. It was a warning. But here's the interesting part. A roar tells you something important. It tells you what you're dealing with. You know there's a predator nearby. You know the danger. And strangely enough, knowing can sometimes be comforting. Because uncertainty is often scarier than certainty. The real terror begins when you hear something and have absolutely no idea what caused it. Imagine you're sitting quietly beside a fire. Everything seems normal. The flames dance. The night is calm. Then, crack. A branch snaps somewhere beyond the trees. That's it. No roar. No growl. No scream. Just a single crack. Suddenly your mind begins racing. What caused it? A predator? Another human? A giant animal? Or nothing at all? You don't know. And that's exactly why it's terrifying. Humans have a powerful ability. We can imagine things that aren't there. Most of the time, that's useful. But at night, it can become a curse. After hearing a strange sound in the darkness, ancient humans didn't just hear danger. They imagined it. A shadow became a predator. A bush became a lurking enemy. A moving branch became a monster. And the less information they had, the worse their imagination became. Sometimes, the thing hiding in the darkness wasn't nearly as terrifying as the thing hiding in their minds. But there was one thing even more unsettling than a strange sound. No sound at all. Think about a forest. Normally it's full of life. Birds chirp. Insects buzz. Animals move through the leaves. The sounds blend together into a constant background noise. Now imagine all of it suddenly stops. No birds. No insects. Nothing. Just silence. For ancient humans, that silence often meant one thing. Something dangerous had arrived. Predators don't announce themselves. They sneak. And animals know this. When danger approaches, many animals become quiet. The forest itself begins acting differently. Ancient humans learned to recognize this pattern. A silent forest wasn't peaceful. A silent forest was suspicious. Because somewhere nearby, something was watching. And the worst part? You didn't know where. Then there was another terrifying sound. Footsteps. Not animal footsteps. Human footsteps. Because predators weren't the only threat in the ancient world. Other humans could be just as dangerous. Sometimes even more dangerous. A stranger approaching your camp at night could mean conflict, theft, violence, or worse. And unlike animals, humans are unpredictable. Imagine hearing footsteps outside your camp. You call out. No answer. The footsteps continue. Slowly, carefully, closer. Now your mind starts racing. Who is it? What do they want? Are they alone? Ancient humans didn't have security cameras. They didn't have emergency services. They only had instinct. And sometimes instinct told them something wasn't right. What's fascinating is that these fears never disappeared. They're still inside us. That's why a strange noise at 3 a.m. can instantly wake you up. That's why an unexpected sound makes your heart beat faster. And that's why darkness still feels different. Even in a safe home, your brain wasn't designed for modern life. It was designed for survival. And survival meant paying attention to every unusual sound. So, what was the most terrifying sound ancient humans could hear? A lion's roar? A wolf's howl? Human footsteps? Maybe. But the real answer might be much simpler. It wasn't a specific sound. It was uncertainty. A sound you couldn't identify. A sound you couldn't explain. Because once a sound enters your mind, your imagination takes over. And imagination can create fears far greater than reality. Thousands of years have passed. Cities replaced forests. Homes replaced campsites. Streetlights replaced campfires. Yet the fear remains. A creaking floorboard. A knock on the wall. A strange noise from another room. For a brief moment, your brain reacts exactly as your ancestors did. Alert. Focused. Ready. Not because you're weak, but because their survival instincts became yours. Perhaps the most terrifying sound ancient humans ever heard wasn't a roar, or a growl, or even footsteps. Perhaps it was a single unexplained noise in the darkness, a sound with no answer. Because for most of human history, not knowing what made that sound could mean the difference between life and death. And maybe that's why, thousands of years later, a strange noise in the dark still makes us stop and listen. The next time you hear a strange sound at night, remember, your ancestors heard it too. And for them, ignoring it wasn't an option.